Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Merry Christmas, everyone. I know it's not that merry for all you Lakers fans out there, but hopefully you've had a safe and Merry Christmas out there with you and the family. It's Gerald Glassford. Come right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. DBSH, yo, Merry Christmas. Yo, yo, yo. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Come right back at you here from the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week. I'm just reading the comments. Sorry, everyone. I'm just reading the comments. DBSH, and I'm just waiting for it to all roll in like a snowball. Again, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Want to go ahead and mention that I just dropped the Friday episode for everyone out there a little early for all you people out there that follow the Pop Culture Cosmos on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's the state of pro wrestling's best and worst of 2025. John Orlando and myself, we covered the world of professional wrestling. Who won all of our awards? WWE, AEW, or was it somewhere else? And who were the big stars and big failures of this year in pro wrestling? Go ahead and hear our thoughts for audio on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And it's now available on the Pop Culture Cosmos on YouTube. And if you're a member for the Lakers Fast Break, it is now available for members out there as well. Also, as well, want to go ahead and give a big shout out again to DBSH. Yo, 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 yo. Go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe. Congratulations, DBSH, on over 10,000 subscribers. Way to go, my friend. DBSH, trade for Giannis and Clay. Daniel, love you, my friend, but they don't have enough assets for Giannis, and Clay is way too old. Way too old. I would not want Clay's contract right now, even if you gave me a first on it. If you gave me 2 first, I would think about it. But yeah, Clay, we're not talking about the Clay at 25. We're talking about the Clay that's closer to 35. And yeah, that's just, I don't think that Clay Thompson, prime Clay Thompson is walking through that door anytime soon. But I like where your head's at, my friend, because the Lakers do need to make some changes. But the question is, will they? But we'll discuss that on today's show. Again, of course, Gerald Glassford, thanks again for watching this. Truly appreciate it. Hopefully, you and yours have had a very Merry Christmas. To everyone out there and their families, a very Merry Christmas as well. Want to go ahead and mention, last but certainly not least, before we go into it with the Lakers game today, my good friend, and hopefully he has had a Merry Christmas Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. You see right here, this pillow, this quality on this pillow right here for Kobe and Gigi. I keep it right here in my office, right here by my side. Always, always look fondly on that and just smile and just remember those two fondly as every time I see the pillow. Look at the detail behind me with Kobe right there, and also Luka Doncic right there for everybody to go ahead and check out on the canvas art. He makes posters, canvas art, pillows, hats, t-shirts, whether it's sports, pop culture, what have you. Go ahead, follow him at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Let him know what idea you're thinking and get your 2026 started off on the right note with a great gift to yourself or a loved one, a belated Christmas gift. Never hurts. Just tell him, hey, I didn't get you what I needed to get you beforehand, but I've got this awesome at Drip Show Shop, Drip Show, great present coming at you from a good friend at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. All right, guys, well, let's get into it. Again, the Lakers on Christmas Day, the 27th straight Christmas Day for the Lakers, and if they keep playing like this, we may not have to worry about a 28th, but we'll wait and see. They faced off, and thank you so much for the super chat, DBSH, always. Again, congratulations on 10,000 subscribers. If the Lakers came in, the 4th game on the 5-game slate for the national TV slate on ESPN and ABC against the Houston Rockets at home. And I had said a week ago, almost a week ago, when the Lakers lost to the Clippers, I said, hey, I'm overreacting. You guys thought, you guys said it. I was overreacting. I said I wasn't. And I said, because you don't lose to a 6-win team because you've got a tough week ahead against a very revenge minded Phoenix Suns and a very good team in the Houston Rockets, which shoot well, which they did today. They offensive rebounded well, which they did today. And they are athletic where they need to be in guarding the Lakers, which they did today as well. And right from the get go, again, another situation where the Lakers starting lineup's defense is so bad, it gets the Lakers off to another bad start. And this has been a repeating thing time and time again. And we saw that in the first quarter as the Lakers were down by 12 at the end of the first. Didn't get much better as they only made up 2 points of that by the end of the half. When they came out of the half, they got the bad news that Austin Reeves would not return. He has left calf soreness. I guess not a strain, but this actually goes back to what he was out with earlier this month. So left calf soreness. So he was out. You didn't have Gabe Vincent, although that, to some people that doesn't really mean very much. They didn't have also as well Jackson Hayes, who's still out with the ankle injury, and their defense, even when they had Jared Vanderbilt and Marcus Smart, just was not enough. Their defense just did not make up for all the deficiencies that they had. Their offense sputtered throughout, and their defense, especially in that first half, like I talk about, just was not anything to write home about. Once again, Lakers possibly going to have to make some changes with a terrible showing tonight as they lose 119-96. According to my calculations, although it hasn't been updated as of yet, the Lakers are 19-10 on the season. Houston moves up to 18-10, but I think they're still in sixth place. According to my calculations, I think the Lakers are now in fifth place. They fall to fifth place in the Western Conference. So that's not great by any stretch as they are falling down further and further in the standings. Not good at all. But I'll tell you what, I want to hear your thoughts, but hopefully we'll get some of the guys in here. But thank you again, DBSH, for the awesome super chat. There you go. No, I didn't say that, Jonestown. So you can just Merry Christmas to you, John. You know what? I'm not going to be angry when you post those lies out there. I'm going to say Merry Christmas to you, Jonestown. Okay. You're full of it. You've got a bunch of coal in your stocking, but you know what? I'm going to wish you and your family well on Christmas, no matter how many lies you're putting out there. So no, I didn't. In fact, Jones, I will tell you what, you go look in the notes section of the Lakers Fast Break channel. It is documented on record what each and every member of the panel, except for Joe, he doesn't like to do that stuff, thinks about where the Lakers were headed to. And lo and behold, Jonestown, guess what I picked the Lakers to be at this season? You got it. Fifth place, not the champions. Fifth place in the Western Conference. And no, they were not my expected champions. I think only Laker Tom picked the team to be NBA champions this year. I may be wrong on that, but it's right there. It's all up on the air. It's all up on the internet. It's right there on this channel, right there in the notes, Jonestown. So you are incorrect, but wishing you a Merry Christmas, my friend. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Rodell, Merry Christmas to you. I hope all is well. I don't know how this team is 19-10. They can't defend and they can't shoot. How do they have 19 wins? Well, I can tell you again, as far as it's concerned, Rodell, you're right. They are one of the poorest shooting three-point teams. They don't box out. As today, they got killed on the board, something I had said back after the Clippers loss. When you looked ahead to this team and this game, that was something absolutely of concern, great concern for the Lakers, because this team does not box out. And sure enough, the Lakers got killed on the boards 48-25, including giving up 17 offensive rebounds, which I think is actually below the usual Houston number. But They were 17-7 on the offensive rebounds ahead of the Lakers on that. Absolutely just terrible. The turnovers, they were even about 16 apiece. Fast break points go to Rockets a little bit, but yes, the 3-point shooting for the Lakers actually was not too shabby, 37%. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Rodell. On the season, we're not very good as far as I'm concerned. Overall, 51% shooting for the Lakers, 53% shooting for the Rockets. Again, the rebounds killed us, and just those second chance point. That's what Houston feeds off of when they're not hitting their shots, which they don't take many threes, but when they do, they usually are accurate at it. And today they weren't, but still, they got enough offensive rebounds to get the job done. And the defense, as far as points in the paint, that was also something very, very disappointing because of 68-52 in favor of Houston. The Lakers did not get to the line as much as I think they wanted to. Luka today coming back from injury just did not look like he had that same zip in his step. We also know, of course, not a good defender at all. And that's been talked about many times by you, the audience, and out there on the show. But today, Luka, 9 of 17, 25 points, 6 turnovers for him. LeBron James, 18 points. And like I said, Austin Reeves, but he did not come back for the second half, 12 points as well. But Rodell, I get your point. On the season, the Lakers, how are they at 19-10 at this point with so many deficiencies? And in fact, when you look at the standings right now, as the Lakers, again, they fall to 5th place in the Western Conference. They now have a negative point differential of 0.05, 0.5 differential. So they are half a point overall under as far as the differential. So again, they play very close games. The only thing is some of the times they create those close games, as we talked about themselves, that they create those close games, and I think they're still undefeated in the clutch. But when those games, like I said, as far as what they're doing out there, just not getting it done today on the boards. Their defense on the perimeter was not really that good. And the only time that they had any type of consistency was in that second quarter when they did have Jared Vanderbilt, who actually did play an okay game, hit a couple threes in that second quarter. Also, so Marcus Smart, both those guys actually in there at the same time, created some defensive effort, tried to raise the level of effort. The Lakers looked listless throughout the game, but it was when those two were in the second quarter, actually provided some hope for the Lakers as they cut the lead down to 4 before giving it up and never getting anywhere close to that after that. But again, the Lakers, unfortunately, they lose. Yes, and they lose, unfortunately, today. They fall to 19-10. They lost 119-96. Rogelio, before I get back to you guys in the chat, Merry Christmas, Gerald. Merry Christmas to you, Rogelio. He has a crazy question. Do you think the Lakers should be sellers instead of buyers before the trade deadline? This team is headed for 47 wins in the second round exit if they are lucky. I feel the need for a semi teardown and build for the future. Thank you. Well, that's a great question, Rogelio, because I remember saying myself during the course of the summer that I didn't think the Lakers did enough to build around Luka Doncic with a good enough or qualified enough team. I thought that the 3 gets Marcus Smart, of course, DeAndre Ayton, and also Jake LaRavia were low as far as priced, potentially high value gets, but they needed more. And it's obviously as apparent as they, have been out there that we have to do something to get more if we want to be able to be more competitive out there in the Western Conference. But at this point, with all the expirings, there is a temptation out there. There is the temptation out there to just say at this point, you know what, let's write it through. And do we just go ahead with so many expiring contracts? LeBron's coming off the books, as far as Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Austin Reeves, Rui Hashimura, all these guys' salaries coming off the books, which could leave you a ton of money this summer to rebuild differently around Luka in the Western Conference. You could build a more defensive minded team in the Western Conference, if that's the way you want to go. But is a temptation to think that you're a little bit more competitive when you see what happens with San Antonio, who not only once, twice, but they've beaten the Oklahoma City Thunder 3 times. Is the temptation there to go ahead and try and make a trade with whatever little assets you have to try and make a trade now that might bridge that gap? I don't think there is a trade out there that the Lakers could make right now that I see that is going to bridge that gap enough. So again, the temptation for just waiting until all this money comes off the books and reloading in the summer of 26 or the summer of 27, as Joe has said, might be the way to go, Rogelio. And I think that at this point, like you said, 47 wins and a second round exit is looking more likely, like we're seeing, or not even a second round exit because of the way that they play defense right now. It's very disappointing. I understand that. But this is where guys like Joe, guys like me, this is where we said this team was going to be. And right now it's playing at the level that we expected them to be this season. I know that early start raised a lot of enthusiasm for this team, but JJ has found no answers as far as doing this defense is concerned. He can make a switch in the starting lineup. At this point, Rui Hashimura is, who got a bagel today, coming back into the lineup. At this point, if you're not going to really include him at all, his defense obviously is warning him maybe as a role coming off the bench at this point. And you're going to hope that Marcus Smart stays on the floor and stays healthy. He all gave us a scare early on in the game when he, I guess, was it Steven Adams when he ran into him, grabbed his shoulder and ran off the court and back into the locker room. He gutted it back out and came back out there. But I think at this point, you're going to have to make some changes in the starting lineup that are more defensive minded. But I don't think that's going to be enough to what we see right now. But we'll see how it looks going forward. And also here today, good man indeed. It is, of course, the man behind the Joe Soro experiment. Awesome indeed, as far as he would love to have your likes and subscribes as well, as hopefully you will do for me. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, Merry Christmas, my friend. I'm trying to keep it as best I can. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and I'm hoping that you guys have a great holiday leading into a fantastic 2026, my friend.
Thank you. The Rogelio, is it Rogelio?
Rogelio, yeah, he emailed us.
It's interesting. He asked that question because I actually was thinking about that halfway through the game.
I'm going to forward it to you, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Was basically he is thinking where where we thought.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's pretty attentive.
Yeah,
attentive to what the psyche of this team is, which is really the main issue here. Is not so much the issue of talent. There is talent on this team, but the problem is that the psyche is one of mediocrity. It's one, and it's not at the bottom. The bottom was the fans today at the end of the game cheering on somebody making a shot during garbage time. That's not a Laker fan base that I'm familiar with. That's what
this was just a dead game. The crowd was
that's
dead.
What a Charlotte Bobcat team, not even a Hornet, a Charlotte Bobcat fan base does, not an LA Laker fan base. So he had mentioned buyer or seller. That's so weird how I was thinking about this in the middle of the game. I have an answer. I think they should be sellers. Because if they sell what they have, which I believe individually have some value for someone out there, they can accumulate some assets now to make up for the blunders that the morons that have run this business the last decade have made. So, because I don't see any value in anything that's beyond Luka, to some degree LeBron, Austin. Adu is newly drafted. There may be value there. I don't know yet. Can't really know this year probably. But
and it's what's the worst part about that is Maxime Renaud, who we'll see next time on Sunday against Sacramento. He's since he put in the starting lineup, he's averaging a double-double, and he was drafted after due.
Yeah, it seems to be a theme, and there's a light at the end of this thing because we do know that there's a transition going on right now. We thought maybe we were lucky. We thought maybe we were going to be able to see some competitive basketball through an 82 game season, maybe even in the playoffs, because you had Luka doing what he's doing. But at some point, shouldering all that it was starting to take its toll, and it is taking its toll. And Austin Reeves is also part of that, taking all that onto his back, and now that's starting to mess him up. This is not a three-man league anymore. You can't win championships with LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. You can't win a championship with Draymond, Clay, and Steph anymore. You need to have a full roster, because if one goes down, it screws up everything. So you have to have some kind of chemistry or a blending of things. Otherwise, you're going to have an issue staying healthy due to the fact that these guys are mentally weaker. It looks like they're mentally and physically lazier. I don't have any sympathy for any of these guys that keep getting hurt.
That effort tonight was just so bad.
And it's not just been tonight. It's been like this for about, 7 or 8 games now.
And they get off to such bad starts.
Every game this last 2 weeks has been a shitbag. It reminds me of when they were sucking really badly, where they were just constantly in double-digit deficits within 5 minutes of the game. This team in Houston, they have athletes, and then they have a veteran star who doesn't miss. So that's a combination that won't work. Oh, and they also have a big that can actually do something. So that's
and they
a kiss
kill
of
you
death.
on the offensive boards like they did to the Lakers tonight, because the
Lakers do everything bad that matters. They don't rebound. They can't shoot, and they have no effort. 48 minutes of a ball game. Now they've shown it in spurts. The game that they lost to the Clippers, I thought, because of the injury issues, obviously, and that's another thing too. See, when you continue to sit out because of a contusion, you basically contusion your own team. Your entire team gets bruised. By the way, it's called a bruise. Contusion is a stupid ass word. I wish George Carlin was around with his euphemism bit where he could explain. Can you just call it a bruise? What the hell is a contusion? Remember, I told you guys the technical word of jumping jacks for like 3 hours. I didn't know what the hell a side straddle hop was. So, one of the teachers called it a side straddle hop. I'm like, what the hell is a side straddle hop? Oh, it's a jumping jack. I go, why don't you just say it's a jumping jack? So they make it more confusing. They make it more, I guess, elaborate. Oh, it's a contusion. Is that supposed to make me feel, ooh, it's a contusion? Shucks. It must be serious. So the NBA product, I'm just curious about it right now. I don't identify with it. And a lot of us don't. I mean, when you have someone like my good friend Empire Jeff who says, I just can't get into the game, and you sit there and you wonder why. Well, these guys don't care. Why do we care? Why are we watching this? And it's not just the Lakers, by the way. It's the entire league. And you think about the pride in the game, right? When you would listen to Kobe, would listen to Magic, when you'd listen to Michael, you hear the greats of this game. You hear reverence of the game. Oh, we got the game, basketball, the game of basketball, the game of basketball. That's how they would describe it. And then you see how these guys perform when it's at its highest peak, which is All-Star games, right? Like NBA basketball is at its peak is usually when the All-Stars are playing against each other, because you have the best players on the planet. Making an NBA All-Star team is ridiculously difficult because there's only 5 guys that can play at a time, right? you compare it to the Pro Bowl, let's say, and again, making the Pro Bowl in the NFL isn't easy either. But there'd be 4 different or 5 different injuries. All of a sudden, you find yourself looking at a player that you're like, how the hell did this guy make the Pro Bowl? Oh, this guy made the Pro Bowl because of the 7 quarterbacks in front of him bowed out. They don't do that in the NBA. But I would say start getting ready for that, because I think there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to start skipping this thing, not promoting their own business, not promoting their own sport, because they've been given guaranteed money. They've been given all the leeway by Mr. Adam Silver. And boy, I never thought I'd say this, but I've come to the realization, this is 2 shows in a row. I burned myself on the Larry Bird thing, and I burned my in terms of being on the all defensive team, and then I'm burning myself here and saying that, man, I think David Stern was onto something with how he treated these guys back in the day. Since he's been gone, and after about 5 years, really since the COVID year, Adam Silver has absolutely lost his league in so many ways. And our justification, much like the monstrosity of what happened a week ago during that faux pas, fake, garbage boxing match, this is the quality that you all have, and I say you all as in your generation, this time, and I'm not just blaming this generation, I'm talking about whatever generation at this time has accepted this trash. And you can always tell. They're panning through all these people, and I'm going, I don't know who 90% of these numbskulls are on TV. There used to be a time when you'd screen here and there and you'd see, and I'm going to tail this back into the Lakers, by the way. You would see Jack Nicholson. You would see Denzel Washington. You'd see movie megastars. Now you have broccoli heads trying to pick fights with Orlovsky, former heavyweight UFC champion, in a hallway. That's what you have now. You have pipsqueak dinks who are popular because you morons online give these guys attention, just like you've given this idiot Jake Paul all this attention and all this money, that I have to hear about it, that I have to click onto my goddamn phone and watch Vari post it on everything, so I have to watch it. And then let's forward to tonight. I heard a larger cheer for that non-NBA playing goon hit a shot over anything I heard in the first, second, or third quarter. Where are your priorities? Why are we going to continue to watch this trash? Because if we continue to watch it, we are culprits in it. We are supporting it. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. And the funny thing is, the venom that's coming out of me lately with how, so Gerald, we have tape of this, okay? It just so happens that now it's my team, okay? You've heard me say this. I want to see greatness. You heard me say that. Even if it's not my team, I want to see greatness. As much as I disliked New England, all that stuff in terms of them beating my team and all that, in the end, there's admiration for the work ethic. There's admiration for the talent. And that is what, in my view, needs to be number one in athletics and sports. I want to see greatness. We're seeing greatness in baseball, and then the idiot morons, those same scum-sucking pigs that are supporting all these Jake Pauls and all these broccoli heads that are got 4 billion followers doing God knows what. Those people are now, oh, we need a salary cap in baseball. No, I'm not going off too much tonight. It's Christmas, okay? I have my limitations, okay? I had to quote Clint Eastwood the last couple of days, so I thought that worked too. I have my limitations, but I want the few people here watching tonight, away from their families, enjoying a little bit of a get together here. You all need to stop Walmart thinking. You've heard me say that comparison too. Stop shopping at Walmart. Okay? Go to Hank's Hardware. Don't go to Lowe's and Home Depot. I'm not saying don't ever go there. I'm saying try and do better. Because when you go to Hank's Hardware, guess what? When I go in there, I'm paying an extra $1, but you know what they're doing? They're staying in business, and every time I walk in, they're saying, "Hey, Joe, what's up? How you doing? What can I help you with?" Not that I need that. I don't need it. I know what I'm doing when I go over
But
there.
as a fellow business,
But as a
you can
business, as a business that wants to be great, you support that. That extra $1 is an investment in people. It's not about, oh, what are you going to do with that $1? Wipe your ass with it? What are you going to do with it? Go buy another lottery ticket? Like, what is it? It all accumulates over time. The Lakers right now, thank God, have a new regime coming in. And the reason why I've been so kind of calm on this is because I know, because I've seen it, that man and that machine behind him look at things the way I'm talking right now. We just have to get this trash out. And the way the rules are in the NBA, unfortunately, we can't just go and get rid of the Gabe Vincents. We can't just drop these guys and say, hey, you know what, go sayonara. You can't just DFA them. I mean, I guess you could, but the penalties there in terms of roster turnover is just not very realistic. You just can't go get talent, which that's going to be really the next thing for me, Gerald, is I'm really, if Adam Silver in 2026 decides to expand the NBA, this is going to get even worse. The talent is already gone. The talent is already watered down. You're really going to add 2 more franchises? You're going to add 12 to 15 more players per team? Another 30 guys in the NBA? This is just not looking good, man. And all they're going to do is shoot threes and play 60 games a year? Yeah. No bueno for me, man.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Sorrell from the Joe Sorrell Experiment, along with B. Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching and listening. The Lakers lose 119-96. The Lakers are now 19-10 on the season. They're now down to 5th place in the Western Conference. And this is a spot, Joe, where many of us picked the Lakers in the 4th, 5th, 6th when we started out this season. We picked this kind of scenario for the Lakers. So really, it shouldn't come as a shock to where the Lakers stand right now. But I think that, again, that early start by the Lakers had a lot of people's hopes up high. But as we've seen, the league has a tendency to figure out your flaws the more these games go on. As we're seeing with OKC, San Antonio clearly has some type of answer for OKC as they've beaten them 3 times in a row, giving some hope to the rest of the league that they may be able to find out exactly what that unlocked the key to beating OKC. It is now conceivable that there could be another team that could just mire their way in there and supplant OKC as champion this year. But the Lakers, I don't think it's going to be that team, Joe, because we just don't have enough assets to go ahead and fix everything that is wrong with the Lakers. And like you said, is selling an answer for the Lakers instead of being a buyer at the trade deadline? You could be right on that because, again, or doing nothing at all, because there's so much money coming off the books at the end of the season. If they just don't do anything, it allows the chance for Mark Walter, possibly a new GM and a new ownership or management regime, to come in there and put the Lakers in a better direction and better players around Luka Doncic.
Yes, it's going to be a process in the next 2 seasons because that's how the money is set up. And it's not likely going to be LeBron James involved in those deals. I am pretty comfortable in saying that regardless if the Lakers end up winning 50 tonight this year, let's say they're hitting a patch. Let's say they're hitting a bad patch right now and they end up going out and winning just under 50 or 50, have that 50 wins, right? Then you go into the playoffs. Okay, let's say you get into the second round somehow. Okay, cool. That's nice for a lot of teams. However, you're not going to ask LeBron James at any age, really. I don't think you're going to ask him. I wouldn't ask him. You're going to need to take a massive pay cut, and it's not going to be $30 million either. I mean, I don't even think I'd give him 20. 20, depending on how roster construction would be for 2026, 2027, would determine if that would make sense. However, it's more of the personality of things. The personality of this team is one of mediocrity. You're seeing someone who has no business, in my view, based off of basketball, that needs to be heard about anything, and that is Rich Paul. Rich Paul should be worried about why he has clients that are being indicted for gambling. Yet he's doing interviews about who would he start an NBA team with? He'd start with LeBron James. Well, no shit you're going to say that. He's your boss. And we all know how sensitive LeBron could be. And that's asinine to start a conversation like that anyways. There's at least 5 players that I can name right now that you would start an NBA team before LeBron. And I really, really think LeBron is a hell of a guy to start a team with. Hell of a guy. But there's also other factors beyond talent that factor into why I have 5 other guys. Okay? You have Bill Russell. You have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You have Larry Bird. You have Magic Johnson. You have Michael Jordan. Right out of the gate, I have 5 right there. Why? Well, all 5 of those guys share something that I identify with and the results identify with. LeBron has won, but he's won because he was that talented. But those 5 I told you had won multiple championships despite that, because of how good they were mentally and how they inspired and created an image and an attitude for their own teams. So the future of the Lakers right now is in getting out of the rut that they're in. The rut that they're in is they have players that are not very valuable to winning. JJ Redick was extended. I had said this on the last show. I was not understanding that until I saw him coaching the last few months. I can visibly see that he is starting to get frustrated. And it's not because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, he said tonight, Joe, I'm not doing another 53 games like this.
Yes.
We don't care enough right now.
Yes. And what's happening is
he called them a terrible basketball team.
They are. And there, a lot of that is because and you can say that, well, it's the coach's job to inspire and to put these guys in positions to win. But I feel that NBA head coaches get the what end of the stick more than any coach in any sport, because it's easy to do that due to the fact that one player on a 5-man team at a time is so valuable. And the unguaranteed contracts, people are coming to see those guys. They're not coming to see JJ Redick, so it's easy to get rid of that guy. However, there is a history of management choosing coach over player. The guy is over there in Miami. Somebody wanted somebody gone. They said, nope, he ain't going anywhere. So, and of course, we saw what happened with Kawhi and Popovich back in the day. And by the way, both decisions on those organizations was correct. They stuck with the right guy in the end, although the problem is they never won again, right? So there's this balancing act. But see, here's where all this factors into this, right? What you want to do now is understand where you're at which I believe Mark Walter and his group do, you have a lot of things that are going to clear up in about 4 months. That's not that much. January, February, March, April. We're 4 months away, guys. 4 months. I mean, if they make a run, let's say 4.5 weeks, right? In 4 simple months, how fast does 4 months go by, Gerald?
It's these days
pretty darn fast, right? So in 4 months, we're going to have so many of the headaches that we're talking about now gone. And mind you, I appreciate LeBron James's talent. He's still amazing in terms of where he is in his life, in terms of the age.
Turn 41 in a matter of days.
Still amazing that he's doing what he's doing. That's fantastic. Believe me, thank you for the championship, all that. But it's time to change the tone of what's this team has been since Jeannie Buss has taken over this team. Jeannie Buss took over a team that right at the worst time for her, without a doubt. Pops passes away in 2014, and the beginning of the worst Laker era in my lifetime, and I think in any lifetime, really. Up until that year, the Lakers had only missed the playoffs 5 times. So let's extrapolate that. So 2014, right? First year they missed the playoffs in what was 19 years? Was it 19 years or 10 years? 10 years. Because they didn't make the playoffs in 05. They didn't make the playoffs in 94. And then the other 3 was like way back in when they were in Minneapolis one year and those old like
the start of Jeannie's regime in the mid halfway through last decade. They started on that roll
right. And why did they start off in that role? Again, guys, a disease is a disease because if you let it feed, it'll keep growing. And what kept growing is, and again, sometimes you go into remission, sometimes you're able to flourish. But in the end, the disease never went away until it gets gutted out completely. And it never, ever got gutted out. It never got gutted out because Jeannie was still there and Jim kind of screwed things up. And then you bring back somebody like a Rob Pelinka who's somewhat, and you still have Rambis there. Like, it never went away. It always lingered. And you always found yourself as a Laker fan seeing weird things going on, which is what this all is. It's just, it's gotten tiring. It's gotten tiring. For every one deed they do well, they screw up in 6 other places. You're never going to catch up that way. And it's just not what they're good at. Let's just really get this off our heads. Let's just be real about it. Rob Pelinka is not a player personnel guy. I told you all this. He is a spreadsheet guy. He is an agent. Just because he's Kobe's friend doesn't mean shit. And that's why he's there. And his connections. But his connections aren't doing shit for him. What is him knowing everybody and him knowing Kobe doing for the Lakers right now? What's it doing? We already know what this team needs. He's not providing it. We are 11 days in, 10 days in from 12-15. Not a single sound, not a single idea has come out of anywhere about these guys trying to improve this team because they're not capable, number one. And the other part is their players aren't capable. So the only way that would work is having good relations with people in the industry. How do the Spurs keep getting certain guys? How does Oklahoma City keep getting certain guys and certain deals done? It's not like these guys, they got lucky once because some dumb GM did things. These guys built what they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times over before they built what they built. It's a lot. It's a lot to discuss. And as far as Luka's concerned, Luka's not looked good because you cannot put him, and this is not just this year. This has been a problem the last couple years. And because he's so good, was able to break through it. Couldn't break through to win a championship. Kind of ran out of gas there at the end. However, he is constantly being pressed with 2 and 3 guys, game in and game out. After a while, guess what's going to happen to the body, Gerald?
What's that?
It's going to break down, and that's what's happening. And the easiest thing that Luka can do when he's not playing is veg out. And what happens when he veggies out? Starts to eat probably, starts to gain some weight. Body gets out of NBA cardio. And then it takes him a game or two, whatever. It's not that, you know, we're blaming Luka for one thing, which we all know he's not good at, but it's not just that. It's a convoluted roster. Rui is never available consistently. Austin, in a lot of ways, is kind of suffering the same issues that Luka is. All of it is on 3 guys. It's not enough. If these guys are not going to hit shots to lessen the load from Luka, from LeBron, and Reeves, these guys are now going to have to dribble, go through traffic, go to the paint, hit the shot, get hit by 3 guys, and go to the basket. Game in and game out. After a while, they're going to break. They can do that, but they can't do it every play, and that's what they have to do in order to win. LaRavia can't shoot. Marcus Smart in spurts, but really can't shoot. Connect can't shoot. Gabe Vincent can't shoot. He's not even available. DeAndre Ayton can't shoot, except between 12 and 15 feet, or 15 feet and in. LeBron can't shoot. Luka's not shooting well because he's dead tired and has 10 people on him. Reeves has never really been a stand-up shooter anyways. He's a ball controlling, get to the basket, create physicality, play hard guy. And his athleticism, same as Luka, don't allow him. And of course, LeBron being 80 years old, their athleticism can't supply any kind of break in all that hard work. I told you this before. These guys that are ridiculously athletic don't have to be as fundamentally focused and as fundamentally sound so much of the time, where they use up more and more energy because they can just jump from 1 foot from the paint to the basket, versus Reeves has to do a couple of pivots, go around, hit somebody, shrug, do a fadeaway, whatever it is.
Well, Dougie McBuckets is not going to be that prize or present that you get in your stocking that makes you say, "Oh wow, this team's going to do a turnaround." So T3 is much respect to you, my friend, but yeah, Dougie McBuckets, aka Doug McDermott, unfortunately, even in his prime, would not be the answer right now because of the fact he was never a good defender, and the Lakers do need, of course, shooting. They do, but defensively, you can see what a struggle it is. And to those haters in the chat tonight that are talking about how the Lakers feast at the free throw line, I'm not going to say I disagree with you. SGA, Harden, there are several players that feast and live off the free throw lines, like we saw in the Golden State game with Butler. Hey, if they can get to the free throw line, obviously it accentuates their games quite well. And if they don't, like tonight, as we saw, Joe, the Lakers only got 11 free throws as a team. For a team that's not athletic, for a team that doesn't get out and run as much as they need to, for a team that obviously we saw their defensive inefficiencies tonight, getting to the free throw line is imperative for guys like Luka, Austin, and LeBron. And tonight, that's just also part of the problem. I'm not going to disagree with you. So when the league and the referees don't give them these calls, it makes it a lot harder for the Lakers to win these games.
Well, creating contact, typically that's how those calls get called. And when you're at a juice to go the extra.
But Luka was asking for fouls on several occasions and did not get it.
No, I don't have an answer to that. I don't. I'm a firm believer in that. You can't be yapping at the referee all game. It's not gonna work.
Similar thing like in the OKC game. Only 8 free throws for SGA, under 10 free throws, and no for Luca, under 10 free throws for LeBron, and no free throws for Austin when he was in there.
And the NBA has a soft reputation, right? So if I'm going to sit there and complain about their soft reputation and then get mad about refs not calling a foul every 5 minutes, we have to endure 18-minute reviews every game for what, 7-8 times a game it feels like now.
Something like that.
The NBA is the quintessential microcosm of society. You have entitled baby softies from beginning to end, stars down to the guys at the bench, down to the people who are going to watch these games. Listening to that crowd tonight that's I'm not going to call it crypto anymore.
Well, somebody mentioned Sasha Vujacic in the chat.
Staples is an absolute disgusting display. They all should go and hang out with that scumbag, meth-looking piece of shit, Jake Paul. Go watch his stuff and go cheer for that. Leave the Lakers alone. Cheering for a guy that doesn't belong in the NBA making a shot in the fourth quarter. That's what this has come down to. And that's what this fan base has turned into. And then what do we have to deal with? The real Laker fans. What do we have to deal with? We have the trolls that come out of nowhere that are just waiting to put their fingers up their ass and pleasure themselves while listening to us complain about what's going on in Lakerland. That's what world we're living in right now.
Kevin Martin did play.
You can't see something for a month and be happy, and then see something the next month that's different, and then analyze that. We're telling you what we're seeing. We're not changing our minds. Okay, a month ago they weren't playing like this. They're playing like this now. And why? Why did we say that when this summer we already sort of figured what was likely going to happen? Well, do you want to hear dread for 3 hours a night? What is it that you want to hear? What do you want to hear? Things change weekly, daily, monthly. I feel good about the future, though. That I haven't changed my stance on. The second you get Jeannie out of here in any capacity, I don't even want to see her at the games, honestly. I can't stand looking at her. Rob Pelinka will be gone unless he wants to make sure the fax machine works. That's it. But even then, I wouldn't want that guy anywhere near the team. And LeBron James has to go because you cannot go on with old ownership. Got to get rid of all the old stuff. Needs to go. Everything needs to get washed out. Start anew. Now, JJ has a little bit of a leash because there's some positives there. He's a young coach. He's got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? He's got a lot of fervor. He does. He always has. He irritates me a little bit, or has irritated me a little bit, because of his mannerisms. But I'm not going to like everything from somebody anyway. So what am I going to like? No one's perfect. But even as great as Greg Popovich was, I'm using him as an example here. If he doesn't have Tim Duncan to be able to springboard off, you think that guy would have lasted as long as he did? There's a lot of really, really, really good coaches in NBA history. I mean, a lot. But they didn't have a Tim Duncan. They didn't have the Shaqs and the Kobes. Kobe's especially. Shaq was a little bit more childish and immature. He didn't make Brian Winters look too good, although I didn't think Brian Winters was that good of a coach. But then again, we never knew because Shaq only respected those who won. And I always used to get pissed about that with Shaq when he would say, "I go, Shaq, why don't you be the guy? Why don't you, if you're the star, make the coach great?" Because I always hear two things from two different buttholes with people. Oh, well, Phil Jackson won because he had Shaq and Kobe and Michael and Pippen. I'm going to go, well, why didn't they win before he was there? And then Shaq won. Shaq's the only one that won a championship without Phil Jackson. But he was kind of a secondary guy during that run. And, oh, wow, it was Pat Riley. To me, Pat Riley and Phil Jackson are essentially the same in terms of their impact, just different styles.
Logan on the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas to you, Logan. I don't blame Luca for crying, but I would be crying too if I had to carry such a trash, inconsistent team. Rob better make some trades fast. So,
by the way, guys, I'm gonna say this because again, here's where you guys lose a lot of smart people like me. I'm a smart guy. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying too. I could prove it. I'm not just online yapping. Okay. I keep listening to Shea Gilgeous, to Nikola Jokic. I go, guys, what is the difference between the Lakers and those two franchises right now? You keep telling me Luka, Shea, and Jokic. What is going on in Denver and what is going on in Oklahoma City and what has gone on in those areas the last 3 seasons that isn't going on in LA? Stability. Stability. How about you let Luka have some stability before you make your stupid comments? Think outside what you're seeing right there, right here where you're at. You know, when you're looking in your own mirror and you're seeing a giant asshole like this, look past that. Look around it. Because when you keep looking at your own face with that asshole in the like 6 o'clock area for you, you don't pay attention to what's around you. You're just looking at that shit box. Stability matters. Stability matters. Lakers have had no stability really for a very, very, very long time. Even when they won, the world was unstable. Wait, the man got traded buying a $15 million home, not like literally a few days before. And he's dealing with the people who have led this monstrosity for the last decade and change. You're going to have something change here soon. If Luka continues to suck up, according to some of you idiots, in the next, let's say, 5 years, let's say he doesn't stay in shape. Let's say he continues to complain to the refs. They don't win anything. Okay, then at that point, I'm like, hey, you guys are right. But maybe you should listen and pay attention to some more little details. Context is a very, very important thing in life. A lot of people don't know how to decipher context because it makes you feel good to just talk without thinking. And because there's no consequences, because you're behind your phone or the computer, you don't have anybody there to hit you in the back of your head. Maybe your parents had zero discipline skills to teach you how to respect and the discipline. There's a lot of that going on, I'll tell you that. I go to a lot of these schools. And I see how these kids talk to their parents. And then I look at their parents and I go, you did that, not me. Oh, you're going to go blame TikTok. My kid's on TikTok. My kid's on Snapchat. My kid's on iPads. My kid's on laptops. My kids have never spoken back to me once. I have a 15-year-old girl. She's been a teenager. She's going to be almost 16. Not one motherfucking time has she ever talked back to me. I have a 12-year-old that's about to be 13. Not one time has she ever talked back to me. So now what? What's your excuse? You're going to keep using excuses? So what are we talking about excuses in the NBA, right? Microcosm of society. Oh, we got to blame this. We got to blame that. We're going to blame this. Or we're going to do this. We're going to do all that. Oh, Luka sucks because he can't stand up over here. Like, seriously, at what point does the bullshit out of your mouth ever resonate into intelligence? And, I could be lying. You don't know if I'm telling the truth right now. But then again, I'm going to say what I always say. All you got to do is hang out with me for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, you'd see exactly how I roll. And I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to be a life coach. In a billion years, I'm not going to sit down and do one of these and listen to your bullshit. You're all grown-ass adults. Figure it out. If you need a little bit of hello, how are you type thing, yeah, sure. Absolutely. But in the end, a lot of you talk out of that hole and you tell me exactly who you are, and we have dealt with it on this show. And what can I do? You got probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life to my right, who deals with nonsense all the time and keeps dealing with it because he's wired for it. We talk about being wired for it, right? I'm not wired to be nice like Gerald Glassford. Just not. At some point, there's going to be a steel wall that I'm going to put in front. And if you keep acting stupid, you keep doing stupid shit, that thing's coming down. And by the way, it don't matter if you come back with flowers, candy, doing a bunch of side struttle hops. It's over.
Great callback. I like that callback to something earlier in the show.
Yes.
I thought that's well done, Joe.
The point is, I'm trying to. I was taught by my mentor, one of the more ethical people that I've ever met in my life, John Chalesnik. Used to work for ESPN, taught me my broadcasting skill set. And he used to say, Joe, you wanna relate to everyone. And I remember hearing that. I go, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that, Johnny. I barely relate to people in my own family. He goes, Joe, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about on air. You want to correlate sports with what, let's say, that single mother listening on the podcast can identify with, which is life involving sports, which those things do come together, obviously. That's why we say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays on these shows, and they do all these concerts at halftime like they did today. There's a connection there with other things beyond just the crazy sports fan like us. So tonight's show, because it's Christmas, I didn't want to curse as much as I did, but it is what it is. But I wanted to really, really use this moment to kind of let you all know where we're at and have a reference to it for the future. You've gotten a lot of it. You've gotten tidbits of it here and there over the years, obviously. But I felt like tonight I'm wearing my little. When do I ever wear red? Right? I wear red on Christmas. I wear red on Easter. It calms me down a little bit, maybe.
Really?
Like Tiger Woods on Sundays, right?
Could have fooled some of the new viewers.
It's my own Tiger Woods. Usually Sunday, obviously, for Easter. Christmas is like even though it's not Sunday today. It's always Sunday church day, even on a weekday for Christmas, right? So we're here to be the voice of reason, be the voice of knowledge, and maybe you'll learn something because we know what's out there. I've seen all these podcasts here and there. They're no different than any other idealistic, narrow-minded trash. I have nothing to gain from anything I'm telling you. I'm not getting paid to say what I'm saying, and I never will. We're here to let you know we know what we're seeing.
I hope one day you will. I hope someday someone wants to go ahead and pay for it.
Well, I mean, that's obviously the ultimate goal. That's always been the goal. Mm-hmm. how that kind of transpires will always be kind of up in the air. I don't know what are we going to have to give up? Hopefully nothing. That's my hope.
King Cora, Merry Christmas to you, King Cora, says we're too soft on Luca. I said I don't know what you're looking for, because I said he played lousy defense earlier in the show. I said that he didn't get the calls that he wanted to. And SGA, if you noticed in the OKC game, same thing. If they don't get the calls, they have to adjust their game accordingly and still be able to find ways to score their points. It's just that simple. And if it doesn't work out like that and they don't do it, then obviously they are less effective players. I don't know what you want us to say. Again, his defense was terrible. He even admitted himself tonight, Joe, after the game. Everybody has to give better effort, starting with me. And he didn't do that tonight. I said from the get-go that this team, their body language was terrible, and they did not give that kind of effort. The only kind of effort that they gave was in that second quarter, when with both Jared Vanderbilt, who we have not been very kind to today, actually had a good game. And he and Marcus Smart, when they were in there together before Marcus Smart got hurt for a little bit with that shoulder, they gave the energy that I think the Lakers needed for that brief period of time. But that's a very small window, and otherwise unfortunate, not very well built house, Joe, that that JJ has to figure out. They get off to such terrible starts in these past couple weeks. Every single time. I was expecting it right from the get-go today. How bad is the start going to be? That starting lineup, again, a starting lineup, which I said I advocated with Rui in there and whatnot. Now looks like it has to be, something has to be done to light a fire under this team, whether it's swapping Rui for someone else, or doing something as far as differently, or telling Austin he needs to come off the bench like Zion in New Orleans or Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio. Something has to be done, because right now what the Lakers are doing is not working, Joe.
There's nothing that's going to fix this team except a rehaul.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I just, the Lakers do not have enough assets, unless some teams out there really, truly are salivating at expiring contracts. But even then, the Lakers, if they get in contracts and these players that they bring in do not bridge the gap between them and themselves and the top of the Western Conference, then you're stuck with them, and your plans on rebuilding around Luka in 26 or 27 is, it's fraught. So you have to make that choice if you're Rob Pelinka.
Oh yeah, and I don't think honestly it's really going to be Rob Pelinka's decision at this point. I don't believe that's ever going to be his decision again. The Lakers are in a very good. They're actually in very good position at the end of the year. I wish the opt-outs were this summer for guys like Donovan Mitchell, Jokic, and Giannis. That would have expedited things right in line with kind of the beginning of the Luka era, the full season Luka. I don't know what I don't know what this crowd wants us to say. It's the first 2 freaking months of Luka being a Laker for a full season. What do you want me to say? Screw Luka? Is that what you want me to say? You don't blame Luka for what do you want me to blame him for? What? Blame him because he can't play defense? How about if I bang my head on this wall? Will that fix it? There's a difference between Luka at 26 in his prime versus LeBron at 41. Austin Reeves, who's ideally best as the 6th man on a title team, which we've said for 3 years. It's on tape. Think about that for a second. And Rui is a starter, but not on a title team. Better off the bench as well. Starter in spurts. This team only really has, 2 guys. LeBron is obviously still good enough to play, but he's a different scenario. He's making $52 million to be a good player. Lakers can't afford that right now. And his baggage is too much. There's too much baggage there. It's really DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic. DeAndre Ayton is a legitimate starting center in the NBA. Maybe not all 30, but definitely 20.
But you saw some of the cracks tonight, Joe, as far as what he can and cannot give a team. And
This is a young man's game. The reason why I'm saying that is first of all, he's very capable if the system is set up right. It's not. It's too. You don't have shooters. You don't have any defenders. You don't have any one-on-one guys. You don't have any guys that play any disciplined defense. You don't have any guys that hit any consecutive shots. You don't have one single 3-and-D guy. You have a lot of mental midgets, mental physical midgets, and you have guys that have all the athleticism in the world that can't implement it anywhere. And we get happy seeing some degenerate who doesn't belong in the NBA when he makes a shot when you're down 30 points at the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. That is the tenor of this team. That's part of the baggage with LeBron, guys. They are forced to keep this guy on the team and keep playing him, even in garbage time. That's the baggage. I am not going to sit here and criticize Luka Doncic because of a problem that's been here for 4 years. Luka just got here in February. Why would I trash him? Why would I trash DeAndre Ayton? They just got here. Why would I kill Marcus Smart? You got him for 4 quarters and a rusty penny. Why would I criticize those guys? You didn't use anything to get those guys. Imagine if this team didn't have DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart. They would be probably what? They're 19-10 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'd probably be 15. They'd probably be 15 right now, or 15-14 without those two. That's a big difference. 15-14 versus 19-10. I don't know if it's going to matter in the end, but the point is, as of right now, no, you're not trading Luka. No, that's a stupid, moronic. Even joking about that is stupid. You don't trade Luka. Didn't you see what Dallas just did? The time has come, and it's coming. The time has come. 4 more months. 4 more months. And you're not going to have to worry about LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, possibly Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber. You're definitely going to have DeAndre Ayton opting out. You're definitely going to have Marcus Smart opting out. You'll have LaRavia for $6 million beyond that. Don't connect. He doesn't make enough money to be a problem. Jackson Hayes is going to be gone. What else is that? You are going to have a completely clean team to where you can start a little more fresh to build what you need to build next.
T3, no. LeBron is a free agent after this season. That is incorrect. He picked up the 1-year option, $52.5 million option for this season alone. He is a free agent next season, just to let you know. So you're incorrect on that, T3. Just wanted to give you a heads up. So,
that's where the rub was with Rich Paul and Maverick Carter and LeBron James, is they weren't offered an extension. The extension that should have never been given even this year to LeBron. LeBron should have been given 1-year contracts, not a player option on the back of that. And those type of deals is what's created this problem. Imagine if they hadn't given LeBron James at the end of last year the deal they gave him. They may have said, "Hey, LeBron, you want to come back? $30 million bucks." Then you're not spending only $6 million on LaRavia. Maybe you go out and get somebody else.
Nick T said, and thank you again, Nick T, for the super chat. Merry Christmas to you, Nick T. Too many excuses for Luka. How a 26-year-old tired after missing nearly a week. Luka always looking for a pick to get by his defenders.
Am I missing something here? What do you think Steve Nash did for his career? You think he was just slithering through 6'7" behemoths? Or was he did Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire set up the baddest picks ever for about 4 years. Do you guys watch basketball? Do you see how it works? Kobe Bryant used screens. What? He's not man enough for you? This isn't the 80s, buds, where everything was one-on-one. This is post-2002 NBA basketball where you can play zone. Don't blame me. I hated the zone in the NBA. Fine in college, fine in the amateur ranks, not in the pros. Because it showcased true talent. You couldn't guard a guy that didn't have the ball with a second guy without getting called for it, right? Why my disdain for David Stern? It's always for selfish reasons, right? Because I feel that he hindered the Lakers' run. Because I saw him enhance the Bulls' run in the 90s. He hindered the Lakers. By implementing the zone after the 2002 season, that right there instantly took away at least a couple of years of Shaq's prime. Just that. And it wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a coincidence that they weren't able to four-peat because of it. Because now it gave the Spurs what they were actually pretty good at disguising. They just couldn't go all the way in with it. But they were able to disguise their zone against the Lakers until obviously they couldn't go long enough before they got called on it, right? During those hard-fought playoff games. I still believe to this day, if they had waited another year to implement the zone, I have very, 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 very confidence in the fact that the Lakers would have four-peated that year.
King Cora, awful coaching is awesome. That guy's awesome. I would love to have him on the show, but my gosh, that guy's voice, you can hear he puts so much stress on his voice, Joe. I mean, you and I do our yelling. We do our shows. Sometimes I lose my voice. He gets so, especially if it's Bronny. I love his Bronny videos, but yeah, his voice goes. I love the fact when his voice, he is still putting out their videos there, even when his voice goes. So yeah, also awful coaching. I would love to have him on the show, but yeah, I've actually turned on awful coaching to the other guys out there in our WhatsApp chat. They've been watching. Yeah, he's hilarious, absolutely hilarious, King Cora. So yeah, awful coaching would be absolutely great to have on the show. I might reach out to him someday. Who knows? Who knows indeed. But it is the Lakers losing 119-96, 19-10 is the record now. They fall to 5th place in the Western Conference. The next game is on Sunday. They're at home versus Sacramento. Then they are at home against Detroit, who is leading the league. Leading the Eastern Conference. And with the record not too much different now than the Oklahoma City Thunder. And you know what? I had spoken to Caleb Ponce earlier this week, who covers the Oklahoma City Thunder a lot for his Suave Report. And we had said that the San Antonio Spurs in that semifinal of the NBA Cup gained a lot of confidence against OKC. You've seen since then, I said, look, they're just happy to have gone ahead and beat them. Whatever happens this week is just gravy on top of the mashed potatoes. And guess what? They beat them not only once, not only twice, but 3 times. Have they unlocked something that the rest of the league should follow as far as how to beat OKC?
No.
No?
I think we become prisoners of the moment.
Okay.
Much like how past teams would start fast. They'd go 15-1, 14-1, 20-1, whatever. And all of a sudden, are these guys going to win 80 games? No, it's an 82-game season. OKC hit a rut. They're hitting a rut. And matchup issues maybe with the Spurs, that happens too. Something, just like in boxing, matchups make games. And maybe the Spurs are able to match up with this team in some particular way. And they do. And the 2 teams that they've lost to recently are 2 teams that are athletic and also have a big in the middle, which makes sense, especially if you can keep up with them and kind of wait till the end there to make a couple shots to kind of finish the muscle. Although San Antonio really didn't have to worry about that. They had them pretty much all game, but it's an 82 game season. I'm not really going to put. I'm not looking at OKC as this juggernaut that's going to win 75 games. I didn't
Not
even.
now.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that was going to happen even a week or two ago. It's just it's too much. The rigors of the season is too much. So I was talking about the old Laker teams, the 3P team. Well, the 67 win team in 2000, they had a 6 out of 8 run in between their season that they lost. 6 out of 8. That's a lot considering they ended up winning 67 games. The following year, they, in my view, the best Laker team I ever saw and I think ever played, only won 56 games. And then a year later, the 3P team won 58. So it just doesn't. It's just you can. I used to live through this through the 90s when a player in baseball would hit 30 home runs by the All-Star break. The question was, is he going to break Roger Maris's record? So you're going to break Roger Maris's record. And then right around August, right in the dog days of the summer, right after 5 months of the rigors of playing in a game where you're never ever taking a day off other than one here and there, they start to bow out a little bit. Then steroids change that for a few years, and then a few years goes by, and even these guys that are hitting a lot of home runs, they're still not really. I mean, Aaron Judge is the exception. He hit 62. But you're not getting those guys hitting 65, 70 home runs still, even with all the information you have now and even the athleticism that they have as well. So the injuries should always keep you at bay, because the second Chet Holmgren goes down, knock on wood that he doesn't go down, but I'm saying if Chet Holmgren goes down, now this team starts to level off a little more, even though Shea Gilgeous is still a great player and a possible MVP. One little guy that doesn't make it in that area can balance you out just right there. And that's just what it is. That's what the NBA is now.
Well, again, the Lakers lose 119-96. Again, we're going to be back on Sunday for what goes on with the Sacramento Kings. I had mentioned, Johnny, again, Derek Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn, see if you can get them as far as a package, as far as less expensive alternatives. Not necessarily world beaters by any stretch of the imagination, but your defense does get markedly better if those two are added on. But again, I don't think there's any one trade with the assets the Lakers have out there that is going to move the needle far enough or close enough to the hierarchy right now in the NBA, whether you want to say it's OKC, Denver, even to teams like right below them with San Antonio, Minnesota, although San Antonio is now in second place in the Western Conference, Detroit, New York. I don't think the Lakers are there as much, and I don't know what they need or can get right now that's available to them in a trade.
Sorry, Gerald, I got to interrupt. Sorry, King Cora, sorry.
Cora, yes.
OKC shoot just as bad as the Lakers. So I'm glad. I was waiting for somebody to say something stupid that was wrong so that I can destroy them now. Where did you get that stat from?
Well, their team stats, like today notwithstanding, I'll take a look at their stats overall. Hold on.
You're telling me that the OKC team shoots worse or just as worse as the Lakers?
I'll look that up. We'll hold on. We'll look that up in a sec. So let's not. Let's go see that. Just go there. Hold on. Give me a second here. Go ahead. I know that again, they're not the greatest shooting team from the outside. So that's stats. Let's see what we got. See what we got for this season for the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers. So there you go. Let's see what we got. Complete. Yeah, this is not giving me what I need either. All right, we're gonna look. I know this is not the best.
These analytical stats have become. I'm trying to understand how a team has only lost 4 games all of a sudden, or 5, can't shoot now.
Well, let's take a look at it from this side. From 3-point range, the Oklahoma City Thunder are actually they are pretty low. No, actually they're third. No, so not the third. Third 3 points made, 3 points. Man, these are just not good stats. I'll get it for you guys. Hold on. It's not my finest moment right here. There we go. All right. 3-point percentage right now. The Thunder are 36.9 as a team. That's not too bad. That's a top 10 team shooting wise. Overall, their field goal percentage, actually, the Lakers also as well are high up this season. So, and their Thunder are not too far behind. But the Lakers 3-point shooting, they're an abysmal 34.6, which is one of the lowest in the league, Joe.
So I'm trying to understand something here. When you see you're having a problem finding stats that should be pretty easy to find because it's so convoluted now on what is considered good shooting that you can't even just look at the game. You have to go look at stats. Because every time I saw Oklahoma City play the Lakers, all I saw was shots going in. All I saw tonight against Houston was shots going in. All I saw against the Clippers and Phoenix was shots going in. So what is it? What's a good shooting team?
Well, what do you want to base it on? Total percentage, 3-point shooting, because the league is so heavily reliant on it. What stats are you actually want to look at? Because the Lakers overall field goal percentage are second in the league at 50%, just under 50% shooting as a team. Where they falter on because they do so well inside the arc, Joe, is the outside of the arc, where they're one of the poorest shooting teams at under 35% shooting. Oklahoma City Thunder, if you just look at the overall stats at team field goal percentage, Oklahoma City Thunder are currently third, right behind the Lakers, also just under 50% of the team. They are a more respectable 37% from behind the arc. So that overall, they are a better shooting team, you could probably say, in many respects, as the Los Angeles Lakers. But when you look at it on paper, Joe, there's a lot of issues why the Lakers are not getting it done, why they have a negative point differential after tonight's loss. A lot of that could be rebounds. They got killed on the boards because they just don't box out. You can clearly see the effort in rebounding was just not there tonight. They get beaten quite a bit as far as in transition. Their transition defense has continued to be bad. And also as well, again, defending as well. Their defense, that's as you know, like I said, that's ultimately what a lot of people are hanging their hat on with the Lakers. And defensively, it's just not good at all right now.
I would say a good stat that maybe we need to start looking at because, and I don't even know if this is a good stat either, because didn't Oklahoma City have one of the best point differentials last year when they won it?
Yes, they did.
But they still barely won. They had to go through 2 7-game series. And the final series that they won, if it took Tyrese Halliburton to probably take Indiana out in that. I think we need to start maybe doing more investigating on the stats. I think we need to look at something that's a little bit more obvious, which is, I don't know what is. I don't know what's obvious. A better 3-point shooting team, a better 2-point shooting team? Is it point differential? I don't know.
Inside the arc, they're fine, Joe. It's outside the arc that's the problem on the offensive end.
I think maybe offensive rebounding maybe tells a story.
That's non-existent for them as a team.
So you're asking the Lakers to be a better team that doesn't stay healthy, can't rebound, can't shoot with any consistency from anybody on that team.
They don't get offensive rebounds. They're 25th overall in the NBA for that.
And they have contusions every 5 minutes. At what point are these bruises going to bruise the brain so that they can go away? Cleaning house. Clean house. It's there's no other way to get rid of this. It's physical, it's mental, it's reputation, everything. At the end of the year, I'll enjoy the game. I'll enjoy the games. We'll talk well about the team. I think they're going to come back, and then at some point and have a good, nice run and give us all hope. That's the whole point, right? It's 82 game season. But in the end,
and the trolls will be replaced by those people who want us to go ahead and commit to the Lakers winning.
Yeah, and really addressing the trolls.
Funny how that is, troll. But how there's the trolls that are bagging on Luka and the Lakers and us right now.
Well, it's because they have their own arguments. They have their own arguments with themselves, with other people. They have to justify. So what?
Well, I just wanted to add on. They all disappear when the Lakers win, Joe. But what gets replaced are those people that come in and want us to commit to saying, oh, yeah, the Lakers are going to win it this year, which is not going to be right now looking good as well.
It's worse because their comprehension is bad, too. I can be talking about something that happened in the past and they associate it with what's going on now. They don't have the ability to think between the two. It's happened a few times on the chat tonight. I can't help you there. If you're stupid and you don't understand simple comprehension of the difference between what, where, and why, and at what time, there's nothing I can do for you. I feel sorry.
Giannis is not going to come through that door.
This is why again this is the stuff that I always say that ruins. We hear in society communication breakdown. You know what destroys communication breakdown? Gerald, looking somebody in the face and asking them simple questions. Where's the communication breakdown? What happened? Even my own kids don't do this, by the way. They don't come home when communication's broken down because they know what I'm going to ask them. I'm like, what do you... And again, they've never even gotten into any major trouble. They've had some decisions that they needed to make that maybe didn't work out. But I go, well, what were you thinking when you did that? You know what's right and wrong. You've learned that in school. You've learned it being around the house. And we didn't have to tell you because you see it. It's in the room. You know what's right and wrong. Almost everyone knows. The only people who don't is like a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old. Once you start walking, wiping your own ass, at some point you're going to start realizing your environment. Merry Christmas, son.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you. Absolutely.
I'll be answering more of your questions on one of my shows here. Sorry, I've had family all week. It's been a whirlwind, a fun time. We had a great time tonight. We're going to have an amazing New Year. So when 2026 comes in, we're going to have a lot. We'll come back to the shows and enjoy that as well. It doesn't matter. This is all entertainment to me. There's going to be trolls that come out of nowhere to justify what their brains are telling them. Then when the Lakers start winning, then it's going to be conversations of, well, you guys gave up on Luka and you gave up on the team. Okay. We're not giving up on anybody, guys. We just sat here and shit on the NBA for about an hour and said, we're still here like masochists watching this shitty product. We're not going anywhere. Okay? We're not going anywhere. I'm talking about Laker basketball after a horrible game that they lost. The same assholes who sit there and say we only show up when they win. Like, I mean, just imagine that. You know, all you got to do is click on to the show on YouTube and see how many shows, Gerald?
I averaged right now in the past 4 years about 300 shows per year.
Okay, we're like professional wrestlers with this crap. That's the schedule professional wrestlers have. They work 300 times. The only difference is obviously they're destroying their bodies, but I'm destroying my brain listening to some of you assholes when I could be drinking a nice rum and coke, hanging out with my family, who I really like hanging out with, by the way, to come talk to you. Imagine that. Who's the idiot? You're right. I'm the idiot. I am the idiot. On Christmas of all days. But I like dropping the receipts. So if somebody ever says that in the future, all we got to do now is pop in 1225 25. You want to talk about Are we here for the good, bad, and the ugly? You damn well better believe we're always here for the good, bad, and the ugly. You know why? Because 6 championships in this century, despite all the dislike of the current regime, despite all the dislike of things that LeBron has done, despite all the dislikes of all the crap that's gone on around the team, at the end of the day, 6 championships was a part of our life, and it was a big part of it. So we're going to hear and we're going to stand by it a little bit more. We're not, the Lakers are not the LA Clippers. Okay. The LA Clippers try to do everything in their power, and it still doesn't work. The Lakers can still win, even though they don't even do anything sometimes. So, and
Merry
again,
Christmas, legend.
Black, Razor Ramon was my guy before he was Scott Hall. Before he was Scott Hall. Before I even knew his name was Scott Hall. Wrestling in the 90s, before the Attitude Era started, it was pretty damn good in terms of keeping things close to the chest. Razor Ramon was my guy. This is before I grew hair on my chest. That was the guy. I knew it when I was 14 years old. I said, this is the guy. Wasn't a Scarface guy even at that point. Didn't know who the hell Tony Montana was yet.
Yeah, King.
There's a really good. I'm going to end this, and then Joe. Sorry, I won't interrupt you again.
No. He said he had a bad ending. I'm just saying, yes, he did. A lot of that caused by what he did to his own body.
He did, and it's tragic. Unfortunately, a lot of times people can't handle the fame or not having the fame. He came from a bloodline of hard drinkers, and he went that route. It's just kind of blending in fame and bloodline things. That's usually a bad combination. However, to show you guys how cool that guy is, if you needed an instance, if you needed a moment, again, that guy had many moments, but there's a great moment where he's in the middle of the ring doing a promo with all his boys, and a guy throws a soda cup right on his head, and he doesn't even flinch. It reminded me of the Kobe Matt Barnes thing. Didn't even flinch. He got hit, and he just went right like this. And even the guys around him, you could see, were just like, damn, that was so cool how you just didn't even react. That's how badass he was.
He no-sold it in the end.
There you go. That's good. I didn't even think of it to say it that way. He didn't even know. So yeah. It a lot of the delivery comes from Scott Hall in my life. Although Jim Carrey's a lot of the delivery too. I quote Cable Guy. I quote Ace Ventura. I mean, it's that man, and that Jim Carrey, man. He's on Mount Rushmore for comedic icons in my book, man. That guy is something else.
We are big professional wrestling fans. Just wanted to let you know, since you're new here, Johnny, I just wanted to let you know. And myself, in fact, on my latest episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos, available now on all audio formats, and also the Pop Culture Cosmos YouTube channel. And if you're a member for just $2.99 a month, you can see it on the Lakers Fast Break as well. I cover the state of pro wrestling and our best and worst of the professional wrestling industry for 2025 with my good friend John Orlando on that show as well. So yeah, absolutely. We're big fans of pro wrestling, whether it's the Attitude Era earlier or what's going on right now in the world of pro wrestling. But Joe, a bad ending for the Lakers tonight. They Houston put a lump of coal in the Lakers stocking as the Lakers lose tonight, 119-96. But again, we'll be back definitely for sure on Sunday night as the Lakers and the Sacramento Kings face off at the Crypt. I do not know whether the Lakerholics will be back in time because I know they're traveling out and about for a Saturday show. So I don't want to promise you guys that, but if they do, I will schedule it for you guys. But otherwise, I know that Legend is also, I'm trying to arrange an NBA observations with him. I may have one in the not too distant future with also Alfred Esmond. But tell you what, we got a lot of stuff going on here with the Lakers Fast Break always. So please make sure you like and subscribe to keep in touch with what we're doing right here at the LFB. Joe has his channel on YouTube, the Joe Solar Experiment. Also want to give a big shout out to someone who hasn't been on the show here in a week. Black's arch rival, Nemesis, John Costa. I wanted to wish him I know I'm going to go to text him. I thought he was going to be here on the show tonight, but yeah, unfortunately, he was not here. I know because that's right, because he's in West Coast. You might want to go ahead and reach out to John because he is near you. I think he's visiting his brother again, so you guys can see each other physically, just possibly, maybe. But yeah, John Costa at Lakers Corner wanted to wish him a happy and Merry Christmas and happy holidays as well. But for everyone out there, we are wishing you a Merry Christmas and hopefully your holiday season and a blessed new year will be in store for you guys as Lakers fans and for everything that you do in your entire life. Hopefully it will be. But Joe, any last holiday thoughts? Although you've had quite a few, as always, before we head on out.
No, I don't have any more thoughts. I'm looking forward to the unleashing of what's coming in baseball. I think in the next week or so, you're going to start seeing even more disdain for our boys in blue, and I'm looking forward to rubbing it in and really, really putting salt and lemon in that wound to see what I feel will be an eventual three-peat. The Dodgers had a little bit of a weak moment here in 2025, and the fact that they still won it all on the back end of a back-to-back, on the back end of a repeat championship, oof. And MLB really screwed up on this one. Philly screwed up, Milwaukee screwed up, and definitely Toronto screwed up. Because those
bullpen's a lot better now with Diaz coming.
I'm not. I mean, to me, at this point, I had first said that I thought Philly was the hardest. I thought Philly was the best team that the Dodgers were going to face. It ended up being Toronto. I think if Toronto meets the Phillies in the World Series, Toronto would be the world champions right now. But you had a little moment here, guys, to take them on. You couldn't. So it's gonna get even worse now because now they've won with they've won with a bullpen and they've won with starting pitching. If they get both, and we were playing trumpets just earlier before I got onto the show. If Edwin Diaz drops 30 or 40 saves this year, you guys are toast. I mean, the MLB is toast. And I'm gonna be all over it everywhere. You guys are going to see all four horsemen of apocalypse in one man during this run, even through bad times and good times. Doesn't matter when it's going to be. They've earned it. So enjoy. Yeah, we're going to go after the deferral monkeys. Those are my favorite right now. Everybody yapping about deferrals. Everybody yapping about paying everybody off. As far as I'm concerned, sit in it, stew in it, not going away. Get ready. This is not going to be a 5-10 year run, by the way, folks. The Dodgers are going to own the 21st century the way the Yankees own the 20th century. You can believe that. So they're gonna continue to win even when I'm dead. That's how the next 75 years, they're going to stack probably anywhere between 10 and 15 championships. Get ready. That's not counting now. I'm talking about as of now, at the very least.
So T3 and D says we're one of the few NBA chats live right now. I mean, no Lakers Nation, no Yovan Buha, no other Lakers. Well, you know what? I'm just glad you guys are here. We had a bigger than normal crowd for us. And again, if any of you like to go ahead and continue watching, you know where to find us. Lakers Fast Break. It's real simple. Please like and subscribe if you get a chance. It really helps out the station. It helps out the channel, excuse me. And we're just glad to have you here for a part of it on this Christmas Day. Could have been better with the Lakers win, but unfortunately that was not the case. But JJ is going to put the guys, according to what he's saying, through the ringer as far as, I guess, a practice and film session. So that is magically going to change things for the better when we face off against the struggling Sacramento Kings on Sunday. I want to see how this looks on Tuesday against Detroit. That's what I'm waiting for as well. So we'll see.
What do you want us to talk about, Jones? About the Spurs?
We did earlier. We said it's their, it's their situation where we think that they're ready to compete now. I mean, obviously they have a ton of confidence. I've still, if you want my conversations on the Spurs, where we talk extensively about the Spurs and the rest of the NBA, hear my NBA observations, Jonestown. Go watch my NBA observations. They're on this channel. I have extensive conversations with Caleb and other noted reporters from around the league and around the world talking about the NBA. So I have extensive conversations on the Spurs. And you know what? More power to them. They won 3 in a row on the OKC Thunder. Can they sustain it? Are they ready to take that leap faster than anybody thought? We'll have to wait and see. I still think that backcourt of Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle has to be the one that they go with long term. But De'Aaron Fox, obviously a great game today. How can you fault them for that? But if they can fortify their backcourt around Wemby and maybe stop getting him to take so many ill-advised shots, those fadeaways, stuff like that. And not really at all, Joe. They didn't really in their games against OKC they really accentuate his size or really take advantage of his size inside lobs. I have a guy that's 7'5", Joe. I'm running a lot of pick and roll lobs to that guy, and whether he doesn't like to do it or the San Antonio Spurs like to do it, they're still winning despite some obvious ways that they can make things better for their team, Joe.
Clutch Shock is John Costa, guys. It's not neither of us. I'm the experiment.
Yeah, John Costa's Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner.
I'm the experiment. The Joe Soro experiment. But I'm going to be using the experiment only because I'm anticipating copyright issues should I get bigger. So if I use Joe Soro, the experiment, I anticipate that those dick faces over there and their lawyers are going to go like, this sounds too similar to Joe Rogan. I'm like, I'm nothing like Joe Rogan, okay? I don't got a problem with Joe Rogan, but I'm nothing like Joe Rogan, okay? Never will be, ever.
Oh, T3, that's something. Yeah. I stream to his channels because he asked me a while back for all the post games just so he could have some regular content. And he, up until this past week, has been a regular part of our show, and hopefully he'll get a chance to come back on. But I know he is away from his normal place of residence. He's visiting family for the holidays, so I'm assuming he didn't have the outlet to come on as far as his normal work office, whatnot. I do know that he will have his 3-minute game report here coming up on Lakers Corner, so you want to go ahead and hopefully check that out. But yeah, it is the Lakers unfortunately losing tonight, but looking forward to hopefully seeing the Lakers rebound and maybe get an easy win over the Spurs, put them back in the positive differential territory, but we'll have to wait and see. Joe, great to have you here, my friend. And again, from all of us to all of you, wishing you a Merry Christmas, and to Joe, to you and your family as well, my friend.
Thank you. Yes. We'll have to, we got to let this thing process a little bit more in terms of what the Spurs are going to be, what Oklahoma City is going to be. It's easy to say that right now that these teams are going to be perennials in the next 5 to 10 years because they have Wembanyama, they have Shea, they have Chet Holmgren, sure. But the NBA has changed. An injury changes so much. There was a time where you had LaMarcus Aldridge and you had Brandon Roy and you had Damian Lillard. You're thinking, especially LaMarcus Aldridge and Damian Lillard, you're like, oh man, these guys are going to be a problem for the next 10, 15 years until you realize maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Wembanyama. There's been 2 seasons already, this year and last year, where Wemby's been missing time due to some weird things. I don't know how his body's going to hold up, so I'm not going to say anything there.
Maybe that's part of the reason why they have him coming off the bench right now.
Yeah. So, and as far as the Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't see anything. God forbid anything happening to Shea Gilgeous, but I don't know what's going to happen with Chet Holmgren. You don't know because that guy's had a history of injuries. So all these things do matter. They do matter. It's just a different NBA. You can't just count on these teams being there at the end most of the time until it is. As far as the Lakers are concerned, what I will guarantee you, because I've seen the operation already work, you will see the Lakers operate very similarly to what OKC and San Antonio are operating at right now. That's going to happen. Mark Walter and the Guggenheims are legit. You just got to wait. Just got to wait. And you got to throw in Denver in there too. Stan Kroenke. Guys won a championship in all 4 leagues. He knows what he's doing too.
Tony, we lost Playback. Playback actually went out of business. So all these entities out there that were at least giving guys a score and our chat during the course of the game lost that accessibility to do so. So unfortunately, we do not have that type of programming to give you right now because we liked what whatever Mark and everybody out there rightly says about Playback. It did provide when it's best a good product to our YouTube audience as far as giving them a play-by-play and then obviously our conversations as well on it. And I know you guys are into Discord, but it doesn't do the same things as what Playback did. So if we do find a viable alternative and are able to go ahead and put it on our YouTube channel, Tony, I will make sure you're one of the first to know because I do appreciate over the course of the year you stopping by and everybody else stopping by for our game reports during the game as well. So if we do find a viable alternative, we'll go ahead and do so. But Playback, running out of money and going out of business hurt a lot of channels in that aspect. No worries, Mark. All good, Mark. All good, Mark. And then wishing you a fantastic Christmas. Like I said, hopefully everything is good out there in Australia at Surfers Paradise. But Joe, it's been a good conversation, my friend. And I always appreciate you stopping by, especially on this day that we always stop by on Christmas Day, my friend.
Yeah, it's just things timed out that way. We were finished with some family get-togethers, kind of like when we used to go to the movies after dinner and hanging out and whatever. Then we'd go to the movies with our friends and such. It's almost similar to that. As soon as the game was over, my in-laws went home. The fam wanted to go watch the new episodes of Stranger Things, and then I was left to just come on here and do my thing. So it worked out really well schedule-wise.
Absolutely. I'm not the biggest fan of Discord, but I'm just going to say, you know what? You guys in your Discord group seem to be really having a good time. That's what makes
it's
me
very
happy.
important to give Vari SB something to do because he was virtually devastated for about 4 days. I knew because I didn't. There's always a hello, how are you somewhere. Well, I didn't hear anything for 4 days. Like, where's Vari? What is going on in Sydney right now? It was Depression City. Mark was concerned even, and Mark isn't concerned about anything.
But Discord, again, it's functional and it works for our community. And you guys are great on Discord. I've been there a couple times. You guys are great. I'm not the biggest fan of it because I think the interface and the cleanliness of and how it looks is not my favorite, but you guys are able to take care of that. You guys are able to put something out there for a small part of our community, and I appreciate that so much, you guys. But Joe, yeah, absolutely. We'll go at it again on Sunday, my friend. We'll see what happens with the Lakers and the Kings. But the Lakers right now fall into 5th place in the Western Conference.
Pure comedy. I can't say enough about our group.
Yeah.
Our group right now is perfect.
Just need Henry to come in here and lay some good.
Henry's fine. Henry's fine. Henry comes in there every now and then. He'll throw a couple of S bombs, a couple of C bombs. I think that adds just enough in there for him. He's never really been someone that's overly participating, which again, he's the guy
He
that
picks and chooses his
yeah, it's
spots.
fine. But I think our group has no barriers right now. It's really nice. We don't have to worry
El
about.
Rosto does a great job though of
He
hosting.
does. This is the first time in a while where we're not. There's times where we may be walking on eggshells. There was a moment there I was like, "What is this? This is supposed to be guys privately talking." Okay, when I'm around my crew, I'm not worried about saying things that's going to offend somebody. If you're gonna be offended like a little pussy, just go do something. Go somewhere else. Okay. That's why I enjoy the banter from my brothers in Australia, because it's like that. It's like the test. So that anybody comes in, I'm like, you can handle this, you'll be fine. We'll all have a good time. You can't handle this, it's like a test. Get out the hell out of here. Go. Peace out. Hey, look, we have choices in our life, right? You could press the mute button. I have when I'm I'm in a meeting. I can't type in. I gotta, beep 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 beep. Put the mute on, then come back to it. It's that simple, guys. Use technology to your advantage. So it's and I don't use that loosely, Mark. That's true. That's real. So we have a really good time, and I can't wait because a lot of like guys like Rafa, he's very vocal when it comes to baseball season time too. That becomes an even bigger moment for us to hang out and talk some smack and do our thing.
And on that note, again, from all of us here at the Lakers Fast Break, the Lakers Corner, the Joe Soro Experiment, everybody in touch, the Lakerholics at Lakerholics.com. I could safely say that we all wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy and blessed New Year from all of us right here. Once again, the
Especially
Lakers.
those guys that are under the bridges too tonight.
Again, they're trolls when we lose, and then when we win and we're in the winning ways, there's the guys that just want us to say that the Lakers walk on water, and it's one extreme or the other all the time. But we're here to cut it through straight for you, to cut each and every time out, to tell you no flowers, no BS. We just tell you how it is. We tell you like it is. We tell you what you need to know, not what you'd like to know sometimes. But again, we definitely go ahead and hit it straight up at you. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Want to wish you and yours again once last time a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you definitely on Sunday for the Lakers and the Kings. Can the Lakers get back on the right track? We'll find out on Sunday night. We'll be back. Hopefully you will be as well, right here on the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Merry Christmas, everyone. Be safe.